The old tractor coughed like a dying man, its rusted shell barely clinging to memories of better days. She stood beside it, her boots sinking into the cracked earth of a farm long forgotten by rain and hope. Everyone said it was a lost cause, everyone but her. And him. He was a poor mechanic, covered in grease and burdened by a past as broken as the machine he dared to fix. No money, no reputation, just a promise to help her breathe life back into land others had written off as dead. The neighbors laughed. They pointed, whispered, shook their heads. But what they didn't see was the spark, between grit and heart, between metal and miracle. And then came the harvest. What happened next? It silenced every voice that ever doubted them. Let me take you back to where it all began. Morning light bled across the horizon, brushing faded crops with gold as she tightened the scarf around her neck. Dust clung to her hands. No one had tended this land in years, not since the drought swallowed every seed of hope. People passed it daily, shaking their heads, convinced nothing good would ever rise again. But she remembered the way her father used to walk between the rows, humming songs as green pushed through the dirt. She remembered how her mother spoke to the soil like an old friend. That memory was all she had. He showed up with a crooked smile and a box of scattered tools, barely enough to dismantle a bicycle, let alone bring a derelict machine roaring back to life. But he didn't flinch. He squatted beside the lifeless engine, eyes scanning its mangled heart with quiet determination. When he spoke, it was low, almost reverent, as though the machine were listening, as if it could still respond. She watched from a distance, unsure whether to feel hope or pity. The townspeople weren't so conflicted. They called it madness, two fools playing with rust and memory. Some even bet money on how long before they gave up. 1 week, said the grocer. A month, wagered the mailman. No one believed in miracles, not anymore. Not here. He worked day after day, knuckles scraped raw, his shirt soaked with sweat. She offered what little she had. A jug of water, a quiet prayer, and the kind of silence that held more trust than words ever could. They didn't talk much. There wasn't time. While he labored beneath the hood, she walked the fields, dragging broken tools through dead furrows, coaxing the stubborn land to remember what it once was. Nights were cold. The stars came out like old promises, flickering in a sky stretched thin by longing. Sometimes she'd catch him staring up, wrench in hand, as if trying to borrow